From the Samson Production Studios in the heart of Hazleton, Pennsylvania, it's your News 13.
Brought to you by SSPTV and the Standard Speaker.
It's got new high-tech gear and a new high-profile image to match. The big reveal of the new HPD, our top story on News 13 for this Monday. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kathy Bazinski. But first, new police gear getting quickly put to the test. News 13 newsroom began getting calls about this incident just after 3 p.m. Right now, law enforcement, including local and state police and possibly some federal agencies, have converged on Alter Street between 11th and 15th Streets. At this point, law enforcement is not saying anything about what's happening, but numerous officers are on the scene with apparently guns drawn and focused on some apartments above one of the businesses on the street. A lot of spectators have gravitated to the area, and Hazleton Police and State Police asking people to get out of that area around Alter Street. Once again, all happening right now. Alter Street between 11th and 15th in Hazleton. News 13 on the scene. We'll tell you more as soon as we get more information about it. Well, back to that other story. They've got a new look, some new power on the road, and a new image. Hazleton's police department unveiled 5 brand new crime-fighting vehicles this morning. And as Christina Papa tells us, they're calling themselves the new HPD.
One by one, 5 shiny new Hazleton police vehicles were driven out of the Kovach Ford showroom in Nescahoning today. The state-of-the-art equipment with blue and yellow stripes are part of a new look for the Hazleton Police Department that Chief Frank D'Andrea hopes will boost the morale of officers.
To have a presentable, professional-looking police department that shows up and looks the part. And that's critical.
HPD's image doesn't always match up with the department's hard-working ethic. That's why Chief D'Andrea says a new look is just what the department needed. The 5 new vehicles, along with the paint job on this van, will give the police station a new look. But Chief D'Andrea says it's the features inside that will keep the police officers safe. These brand new V6 Ford Interceptor SUVs were made especially with the police officers in mind.
We didn't have the ballistic panels in the front driver's side and passenger side doors. We also didn't have the spotlight at the top of the vehicle with the complete 360-degree rotation. And I believe it goes up 3 stories and down to ground level.
Not to mention, the vehicles come with traffic signal equipment that will turn red lights to green when an officer has his or her emergency lights on at a traffic light. The payments for the vehicles are already in the 2013 budget. It's the first time in HPD history that a line item has been included in the police budget for new cars.
It costs $150,000, but that's over the 5-year plan. That got us 5 vehicles up front because of the lease, and it's a great project.
The older vehicles have gotten a beating on the roads. Chief D'Andrea plans to phase some of those vehicles out. Others will be used within the city in other departments. Christina Papa, News 13, Nescahoning.
A man was hit by a vehicle on West Maple Street in Hazleton Sunday night following a fight, and police are now looking for who hit him. 23-year-old Jorge Rodriguez Jr. was hit by a car late last night on West Maple. 18-year-old Anthony Rodriguez was driving a silver Honda when it hit Jorge Rodriguez. Police reports say Rodriguez was taken to Hazleton General Hospital for treatment and evaluation. No word on his condition at this point. Officers ask anybody with information to contact them. A tragic accident in Carbon County early Sunday morning. State police say 45-year-old Richard Zabrowski and 44-year-old Rebecca Pilla of Nescahoning were killed in a violent one-vehicle crash on some private property at 4 a.m. Investigators say the driver, Richard Matzik, also of Nescahoning, was driving an SUV at a high rate of speed along Fireline Road in Packard Township when he lost control of the vehicle and went off the road. That vehicle slammed into a tree, then spun around. Matzik and another passenger suffered minor injuries. Troopers say they believe alcohol was a factor in that crash. Well, the community came out in droves this past weekend in support of a memorial fundraiser for a fallen state trooper. They turned out for the 5th annual memorial for Trooper Joshua Miller at the Marine Corps League in Wilkes-Barre. It was home base for a scavenger hunt that took place all across the city, as well as a picnic with great food and entertainment. The memorial was set up in honor of Trooper Miller, who was killed in the line of duty in 2009. The money raised each year is then donated in the trooper's memory to a regional veterans outreach group. This year's recipient was Dave Morgan and his family. Morgan served the Naval Reserve and was injured in Kuwait in 2009.
Dave has been confined to a wheelchair since 2009. He's been at the VA hospital in Wilkes-Barre ever since. Our goal is to try to help Dave's family maybe get him home so that make the accommodations needed for a wheelchair so that he can be with his family more often than not.
Organizers hope the memorial grows over the years so that they can honor Trooper Miller by helping local veterans who are in need of support. Well, folks in Schuylkill County came together over the weekend to remember a dark chapter in its mining heritage and remember those who lost their lives in the mines. Stephanie Gorney was there as a memorial was held for victims of a century-old tragedy.
It was in the month of August in the year of 1913 that we lost our friends and comrades.
It was the worst mining accident that Schuylkill County had ever experienced. 20 miners were killed 100 years ago on August 2, 1913, in the East Brookside Mine, located in Porter Township. On Saturday, a memorial was held to honor those who died working so hard to provide for their families.
This day could not go by without some sort of a service. And it not only commemorates the 20 men who died in the East Brookside colliery explosion, but also it commemorates all miners, those who died, but also those who worked very hard and made a difference in industry.
There has been plenty of controversy surrounding the disaster that struck that tragic day. The Brookside mine was known as one of the safest, and it is believed that the explosion was an accident that occurred in many mines.
What happens in a lot of mining accidents. You're working and you expose a portion of gas, and in the old days these lads walked around with an open flame on their lamp. So if they stuck their head into an open area, the concussion and the blast is tremendous.
Stu was part of a dramatic reading at the memorial, which he had written from the perspective of a breaker boy who went into the mine to recover the bodies.
All the writing from the original newspaper articles and from the coroner's inquest at the end, how they went about doing things like that. So it's to honor them, and we couldn't think of a better way than to do like a dramatic reading in that context, because it's what they saw, not what people project.
Participants in the memorial believe that it is important that we don't forget about this tragedy because mining is such a big part of our heritage in Northeast Pennsylvania. Stephanie Gorney, News 13, Tower City.
And still ahead on News 13, we're in for a week of fall-like conditions, but we'll tell you when we return to summer in News 13 weather. But first, one local community comes together for a touching tribute to some young fire victims. We'll take you there when News 13 continues. It may still be summer, but in the next couple of weeks, kids will start thinking about heading back to school, and that's expensive, especially for families in need. So as Matthew Petrillo tells us, one Schuylkill County nonprofit is hoping to lend a helping hand.
Getting ready for the start of a new school year can be a lot of fun for children. Many get to go shopping for new outfits and school supplies. But for some parents, it could be financially straining.
Folks have a lot of need when it comes to back to school time. Kids need new clothes, new shoes. They grow out of things quickly. Put a backpack and some other stuff on that list, and it's tight on the budget.
Schuylkill United Way is hoping to change that with its annual Stuff the Bus campaign.
So financially, it really helps a family out.
It's their summer tradition that keeps on giving. The Stuff the Bus program is a month-long campaign that lasts throughout July, organized by Schuylkill United Way. They set up buses and vans across the county, asking people to stuff them with school bags and supplies students may need, because school should be about learning.
Of course, we want kids to have a good education and not worry about having the best of the best. When you just have what you need, that's important, which is a good education. Volunteers
stuff the bags today at the Salvation Army in Pottsville. The bags will be distributed to charities all over the county for needy children. More than 200 will be distributed here, as well as the Schuylkill YMCA, Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and the local Boy Scouts chapter. The Stuff the Bus campaign plans to deliver the bags to 1,100 children, and they say if you still want to donate, there's still time. Just stop by your local United Way office. And of course, the bags come stuffed with just about everything students might need for school, like rulers, erasers,
paper, pencils, folders, regular school stuff.
The only other thing they're going to need to remember to bring to school is their thinking caps. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Pottsville.
Well, despite the rain this weekend, runners from all over the area were ready to compete in what's become a growing event. The third annual Valley Day race was held on Saturday in Cunningham to help celebrate the 60th annual Valley Days. Athletes who came out had the option of running a 5K or 8 miles. The money raised at the event goes towards the Valley Food Pantry and the Cunningham Valley Civic Organization. Even though there was some rain, there was a record turnout of runners.
We have a great turnout. Today is record turnout. We are very excited just to have a great, running community in the area, as well as, to help with the benefits to the Valley Food Pantry and the CVCO.
There were also plenty of other fun events going on at the Valley Days, including the pet show and the baby parade. And time now for our regional weather from the National Weather Service. Checking the radar, not a whole lot going on right now, but it could change up a bit as we move into the overnight and into tomorrow, and then for the next couple of days, too. Creative condition is a hint of what we'll be in for tomorrow. It's by Brianna Fisher, a student at Hazelton Elementary Middle School, and she drew a thunderstorm with purple skies and plenty of lightning. Now let's take a look at News 13 weather from the National Weather Service for Greater Hazelton for tonight. Increasing clouds with low around 56 degrees. Then for Tuesday, scattered showers with afternoon thunderstorms also possible, a high up to 72. Scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing at night with a low down to 62. And heading to Schuylkill County for tonight, a slight chance of showers overnight with a low around 57. And for Tuesday, a chance of showers with afternoon thunderstorms possible, a high of 73. A chance of showers and thunderstorms is going to continue at night with a low around 62 degrees. Well, several young victims of a tragic fire were remembered last night during a moving memorial in Pottsville. Christina Papa was there as family and friends came together to honor the Brown children.
Pottsville came together Sunday evening not to let go, but to remember and celebrate the Brown children. Elijah, Emily, Jeremiah, and Joy Brown, their father Eric Brown, and his sister-in-law Christina Thomas died in the fatal Mother's Day fire earlier this year in Pottsville. The memorial service at Bunker Hill Playground on Sunday gave friends and family time to remember their lost loved ones.
It didn't really make sense. They were really good kids.
The children's mother, Kelly Brown, has since moved to Washington State. Cousin Nicole Edwards was there in her family's honor.
I miss them dearly. I think it was very nice of everybody to do this.
Organizer Michelle Yarnell didn't know the family, but was moved to help keep the memory of these young children alive.
So I wanted to do something and honor them, and a dedication that people could come see and visit, and something that the community could come together and contribute all in one thing.
The ceremony included the unveiling of the memorial garden that includes 2 benches and stepping stones for each child and a memorial plaque. But the event wasn't only for the Brown family. Minersville Victoria Place was there. Her children, Cariana Crow and Katrina Williams, died in a crash in March.
It helps us as parents, it makes us feel like we were important or we are important.
Another stepping stone for Edward and Nikolai Santai, who were killed in a fire 20 years ago, was also placed in the memorial garden. Their father, Edward Santai, hopes the playground will always be a place of remembrance for the community.
So to be able to know that the laughter is there and there's a place for children to go and enjoy and be able to laugh and freedom and enjoy what the world has to offer them, what this country has to offer them.
Christina Papa, News 13, Pottsville.
Let's check the winning Mid-Day lottery numbers. Good luck if you play. The Daily, 488. The Big 4, 3751. Quinto, 16301. And the Treasure Hunt, 5, 16, 20, 21, 28. Hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy birthday to Janine and Sam Jr. Love from Mom, Dad, Gucci, family, friends, and everyone here at SSPTV. And also, cheers to an awesome year. Sharing our birthday is special. Happy birthday to my twin brother, Sammy. I love you, from Janine. And in tonight's Talk of the Town report, St. Mary's Ukrainian Church in McAdoo will hold its 6th annual homecoming picnic August 16th and 18th. Enjoy delicious ethnic food, baked goods, refreshments, entertainment, and much more. Hours are Friday from 6 to 10, Saturday from 1 to 10, and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Paul Daniel Gallagher, formerly of Hazelton, Memorial service will be held at a later date. Arrangements are by the St. John's Family Funeral Home. Joseph N. Spaniel of Hazleton. Mass is Tuesday at 11 a.m. in the Most Precious Blood Church. The Firo Funeral Home is handling the arrangements. John E. Schnatzko, formerly of Freeland. Services will be held Tuesday in Biloxi, Mississippi. Joan Ann Budgeon, formerly of Exeter Township. Arrangements are by the Walter R. Christ Funeral Home. And Norman Rang of Barnesville. Private services will be held at the convenience of the family from the Lamar Christ Funeral Home. Also tonight, happy 74th birthday in heaven goes out to Mildred Elsie Filler from your husband Harold, family, and grandchildren. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And by Doves of White, serving Schuylkill and surrounding counties. Call 570-205-1597.
SSPTV Sports on News 13 with Fred Barletta Jr.
Out of all 30 Major League Baseball teams, the New York Yankees have the worst offensive numbers for their third base position. That's going to change tonight, or at least they're hoping, because Alex Rodriguez is penciled in to be the third baseman in Chicago tonight when the Yankees open up a 3-game series. Now, here's the problem. Today, Rodriguez, along with many other Major League Baseball players, were handed suspensions for their involvement in the performance-enhancing drug scandal. Rodriguez is the only one who is actually going to fight that. He is looking for an appeal, so he will play tonight. All the others have accepted their penalties. Of course, Rodriguez was rehabbing up at Scranton Wilkes-Barre not too long ago. So, hey, Yankee fans in this area, he was in the Scranton Wilkes-Barre area the last couple of weeks. Needless to say, some of the people in the greater Hazleton area shaking their head a little bit about Alex Rodriguez.
Well, if that's the process in play, I think that's the way it should be. If that's what they have as protocol, then I think he should be able to play until he's found guilty.
Now, the amazing thing is 12 players have agreed to the 50-game suspensions for their role in his biogenesis case. And the harshest penalty went to Rodriguez because he's a multiple-time offender, and as well, the story is that he would not cooperate with Major League Baseball. You take a look. There are the other people, including Nelson Cruz, the Ranger outfielder, pretty good ball player, sitting on his free agent year. Everett Cabrera, good-looking shortstop for the Padres. And how about Johnny Peralta, who's putting together some good years, now definitely tainted, no doubt about it. Antonio Bastardo of the Phillies. The Philly fans are probably saying, get rid of him. We really don't care. And, oh, there's another Yankee there, Francisco Cervelli, the guy who was one of their platoon catchers. So there is the whole list right there as you take a look. And really something here. We'll have to see what happens with Rodriguez, but he is in the starting lineup. You think it's going to be a 3-ring circus out at U.S. Cellular Park in Chicago tonight? Well, right here in northeastern Pennsylvania, Casey Kane went bowling over the weekend, as in the GoBowling.com 400. He would take the checkered flag as he beat out Jeff Gordon to win the second of the two majors up at the Tricky Triangle. And Gordon, who came up just short on his 42nd birthday, have to settle for some points, but not to the winner's circle there. That goes to Casey Kane. It was a great day up there. The weather cooperated. Everybody enjoyed themselves. And hard to believe, another year in the book up at Pocono as far as NASCAR. Of course, the NASCAR chase continues. That'll go right into the month of November. Now, a little bit closer to home, the Mountain Speedway action was fast and furious over the weekend as Chris Berg won for the 4th time this season in the 25-lap street stock. The late model, that went to Travis Fisher, the local guy that really gets the job done there, and he came up the winner at Mountain Speedway. Meanwhile, in the factory stocks, you can see in the 4 cylinders, your winners there for Scott Adams. That's his 11th win so far this summer. And finally, the makeup went to Paul Morgan Sr. in the factory stock, and Larry Spencer III, Kenny Higgins came with wins as well. So another exciting weekend of action down at Mountain Speedway in nearby St. John's, Pennsylvania. Russ Kanzler, week he'd rather forget, and ended with a 0 for 1 in a pinch hitting role in his Indianapolis club, got shut out. We'll see what happens. Kanzler on the weekend, just 1 hit in 8 trips. The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs took care of business against Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Josh Felds, 2 for 5, including a double, couple RBIs. There's the schedule of what's going on in the International League. The Rail Riders have the day off. They'll be back in action tomorrow. So all eyes on Chicago tonight. As we said, this will be worth watching even if you're not a baseball fan. Tonight's sports is brought to you by Mountain Speedway. Here's a look at this weekend's action. It's going to be busy. The racing will begin at 6, so plenty of action this Saturday. Just $10 for grandstand admission. Kids under 10 are free, and if you're active military or a senior, you get a $2 discount. There's the website and the phone numbers. You could call them and get all the information on the excitement of racing down at Mountain Speedway.
And here's what our media partner, the Standard Speaker, is working on for tomorrow's edition. One night only, a Hazleton business student's music will be heard on Broadway. You can read all about it in the Tuesday edition of the Standard Speaker. A programming reminder for News 13 viewers in the greater Pottsville area. News 13 has doubled its commitment to serving greater Pottsville with 2 opportunities to watch every night. Comcast subscribers can now watch us at 8 p.m. and again at 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. News 13 now in greater Pottsville, local, and loving it. And plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13. We'll take you to the very touching dedication of a memorial to some tiny fire victims. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.